Today, the 16th of July 2024, Gen Z had planned for another peaceful protest against UDA government. And they were telling William Ruto, we will never tire until you implement all the austerity measures that you gave us. They have also come up with new demands. They want principal secretaries to be removed because they are saying this government is corrupt. They are saying even in the government departmental heads must go. But the political class was not prepared, and they wanted to use very unscrupulous means to try and deter the demonstration. So as early as 6, pictures and videos had started circulating of some people regrouping, and goons were being given some rungus under the watch of the police. You know, of late, the police is under scrutiny. People are looking at them with a fine-tooth comb because they have been responsible for killings. The killer cops are known. Anytime they are seen around, Gen Z had promised that they will go for them. So the government decided that they want to set wananchi against wananchi. You set citizens against citizens so that they deal with their fellow citizens. And these photos had been circulating in Nakuru, Eldoret, Nairobi. All this was happening. This was obviously meant to intimidate the Gen Zs, but they had said, we have lost our fear. And so the political class must lose their strength. There is nothing that they will do that will deter us. And I want you to look at these videos of goons being armed under the full glare of camera, under the full watch of the police that is supposed to protect us. And they are arming goons against their fellow Kenyans. And then Gen Z decided that we are not going to sit back and watch. And some of them were even known. They could pinpoint, oh, Willen Chando. So they also regrouped against the goons, and they said, we are not going to tolerate, because when goons infiltrate our protest, then the government will use it to say that we are armed, we are becoming unruly, and they will ban. The government will get an excuse of banning those demonstrations, because according to the constitutions, our constitution demands that the demonstrations must be peaceful. The government will also have an excuse, a justification of using live bullets to kill, because those goons can as well invade businesses, and then it will be said that these are Gen Z. So they pounced on them like a lion will pounce on a prey, and the goons were beaten. They were overpowered, they were beaten, all the rungus were taken from them. And I like that, because these Gen Zs have decided that if the government, if the police is not going to maintain law and order among us, then we are going to maintain that law and order. Kindly take a look at what happened, how they were being armed, how they went there to intimidate, and how the Gen Zs pounced on them and took their weapons, and the demonstrations went on peacefully. Kindly take a look, ladies and gentlemen.
Hata watu akili yao ni mzuri tu. Wana prevent ati
na unaona venye wamejifunika mouse.
Na wizi ndani, hata mimi nashangaa anatumia pesa yetu vibaya.
Hata tuchukue hii video tuone.
Hii video mpaka tuichukue. Umemwona?
Eh. Wanawapokonya.
Yule mama ameenda wapi by the way? Nimemfungia nje. Vita zinaenda kukua. Ona huko.
Na unajua watu wote wenye wako na rungu si wa huko.
Wamenyang'anya wote.
Baraza must go.
Round 1 they are through.
Yes. The power of the people. Watu wanakuja na marungu hapa man.
Wanaenda huko.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were the pathetic scenes. You cannot imagine that at this age in time, some politicians still feel that they should arm goons against their fellow Kenyans. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you. I want to request you to give this video like so that it can be recommended to more people. Thank you for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we conclude from the scenes that we have just witnessed? Number one, our leaders are shameless. It is very shameful for us as a country to condescend to this level, because our generation, this Gen Z, are demonstrating as it is in the Constitution. The drafters of a Constitution had envisaged that there would be a point in time when citizens are unhappy. And they did this so that people don't sit somewhere thinking of overturning the government, thinking of a coup. You remember, like in 1982, we didn't have the privileges or the rights in the Constitution where you can go demonstrate and compel a government, compel a president to dissolve a cabinet, compel a president to kick out the Inspector General of the police. I mean, it wasn't there. That's why people went and they were thinking of, how can we overthrow this government? You know, these are privileges that we must not take for granted. So if leaders still arm goons to come, hooligans to come and deal with peaceful demonstration, it is shameful, and it is shameful for this government even to do so. Number two, I understand that we still have gullible youths who can be used to go and beat their fellow Kenyans. I remember in the Azimio demonstrations, some youths, especially from Mount Kenya, were given pangas. They were taking oath, slaughtering some animals there and licking the blood, and they were saying they are going to cut everyone who is not circumcised. Only later they realized that when people are on the streets, the benefits of the demonstrations and the protest will be enjoyed across the board. So we still have youths who are given a token, 1,000 shillings, a rungu, you go and beat your fellow Kenyan. What can 1,000 shillings do to you, especially if it is ill-gotten money, money that you are given to kill your fellow Kenyan? If you go into a supermarket today, how much shopping? And I'm not saying that 1,000 shillings is such a small money. I'm only saying that you try to compare what you are given vis-a-vis what you can gain if you all stand together to compel a government to give you the right services, to ensure that the environment for doing business is conducive. It will be more gainful than getting 1,000 shillings, which is your money. It is taxpayers' money. Once the politician has given it out to you, you go and kill your fellow Kenyan. You have soiled your hands in blood, and then there are no businesses, there are no jobs. Where do you go? So this kind of hoodwinking, where youth still want to be gullible and the political class is taking advantage, must stop. We also see very clearly that the demonstrations that are led by Gen Z are always very peaceful until they are invaded by hooligans, until they are provoked by the police. They conduct their agenda very peacefully, only armed with a flag, a placard, Ruto must go, until they are provoked. And I love the fact that they decided to show the goons that we have the numbers, we have the strength, and we have lost our fears. And in this sense, it is you to lose your strength. Ours is to lose the fear, like they lost the fear. And I think that is the best thing. And it should be a lesson. Let it not happen again that you are being given weapons to go and attack your fellow Kenyans. And I'm also thinking, or I want to conclude too, that these people are not giving up. After William Ruto had done everything, he succumbed, he came down, dissolved the cabinet, kicked out the inspector general, rather forced him to resign, announced austerity measures. These people are still saying, we are not giving up. We want justice to those people who have been killed. And we want to ensure that when you form a cabinet, we are part and parcel of the decision making. Hatutaki wale ambao waliwafukuza. And we want to ensure that the members of the parliament that are still there, who are corrupt, we will recall them. So these people did not just start a battle that they want to pursue and they give up. They want to pursue it to the end. And this is how William Ruto gets defeated, and you will see him even coming down. And I think the demonstration today, the youths have demonstrated that they understand the constitution and they are ready to follow the law. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.